go. I'm never going to have a better call than this. Hello.
Oh my gosh, I got
picked. You cannot be a pushover. Nobody is going to respect you. We got to get going on that. Be comfortable when you're sick, stats creep. You're also stunting your life. I don't know if that was helpful. This is Work Like a Girl. I'm Erika Nardini. This is our call-in show where we dispense all sorts of advice to women and all sorts of people who want to get ahead in their career.
Hi.
What's going on? What's your name?
My name's Meg, and I was calling to ask, how many jobs for an internal promotion it's okay to apply for. So to give you, backstory, work for a gym. I just applied for a promotion for a job in DC. Obviously, no guarantee that I'm going to get it. And now I'm located in Boston, and I found out 2 jobs that I opened now in Boston in my location. One of them is the job that I applied for in DC, and it's definitely a reach. And then the other job is definitely I'm more qualified for. And I think that's going to be the more realistic job, but I also want to apply for the reach job.
That's awesome. What do you do at the gym?
So right now I work at the front desk, helping lead sales and operations.
Okay. And
the job that I'm more qualified for would be an operations manager. And then the other reach job is 2 openings for general manager, one in Boston and one in DC.
Okay, got it.
And the job in Boston, my current boss, my operations manager that is would be applying for 2. And he and I kind of have a new work relationship before, my company got acquired back in February. So before the acquisition, he and I didn't really work together. When he was on parental leave, I covered a lot of his job and then another open position job while doing my job. And I've noticed that in his job, he makes a lot of mistakes. I covered 3 jobs and did pretty well at it. So I feel weird going after the same job that he wants, but I also feel like I want to shoot my shot. So is it appropriate to apply for 3 internal jobs?
So here's what I would say. One is good for you for wanting to move up and having ambition and also being willing to move to, from Boston to DC. That's great. That's an awesome way to look at your job and your career and your life. I would say, unless you have general management or all different types of gym management experience, I would say the general manager job is probably a real stretch. But I don't think that there's any harm in saying, hey, you know what? Eventually, I'd like to be a general manager and to talk to someone, maybe the new owners of the company. Maybe you have HR where you're like, hey, I would like to keep learning and growing and developing. What are the tips that you have for me? If you have HR, what I would say is it's worth reaching out to that person and saying, hey, I applied for this job in DC. I know the DC job is a general manager job, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I would be like, hey, I know this is a huge stretch, but I really care about this company. I'm super motivated. Here's all the things I've done. Here's the effort and the passion I would put into place. Here are the things that I think I could do that nobody else could do. You got to sell yourself a little bit. It's not just about applying to the job. You got to sell yourself for the job. And then I wouldn't give a shit that your boss is going for the operations manager job. I would 100% go for that. And I would also, do you have HR? Let's start there. Do you have an HR person?
We do, but I don't really have that much of a relationship with them yet because of the acquisition. So it's definitely weird because with the old company, I had a big relationship with a lot of the higher ups, and they bought out some of our locations. So this new company, so I'm still relationship building with a lot of people.
Great. And is any of the old guard still there, or are they all gone?
They're, for the most part, all gone. Just internal within my location are the only people that from the old company that I know.
Okay, so what I would do is use this as an opportunity to make the connection and honestly make the HR person an advocate for you. So say, hey, I applied to this general manager job in DC. I know that's a huge stretch. I also noticed that that job is open in Boston. That's my ultimate ambition. I'd like to take it to the next level. And the job that I think is probably more right sized as a next step is the operations manager job. Here's why I would crush it at the operations manager job. And here's 5 things or 3 things I do to make this place run better. I would go ahead and take that initiative, and then you've like kind of won on all fronts. They know you want to do more. They know you're passionate. They'll get a chance to look at your ideas for the company. And then you're kind of solidify your consideration for this operations manager job, which sounds like the right next step for you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Awesome, Meg. Have a great day. I love Shopify. The Barstool Sports store is on Shopify, one of the best things to happen to our commerce business. Shopify is an e-commerce platform for online stores and retail point-of-sale systems. Shopify offers retailers a suite of services, including payments, marketing, shipping, and customer engagement tools. Shopify lets you, if you have an online store, connect with all of your customers, drive sales, and manage your day-to-day. The other great thing is that Shopify instantly lets you accept all major payment methods. Who doesn't want more sales with more payment methods? Shopify has thousands of integrations and third-party apps, from on-demand printing to accounting to advanced chatbots and beyond. Go to shopify.com/tokenceo. Note that's all lowercase. If you do that, shopify.com/tokenceo, you can get a free 14-day trial and get full access to Shopify's entire suite of features. Start selling on Shopify today. Go to shopify.com/tokenceo right now. Shopify.com/tokenceo.
Hi, Erika.
How you doing?
I'm doing so well. I just have to say I've absolutely loved listening to your Token CEO podcast. It's my favorite part of my week. So I'm so excited that I got through.
Awesome. Thank you for listening.
Yeah. So my question for you is, I'm going into my very last year of my degree, and I just finished up a 1-year internship with the company, but I don't want them to forget about me while I'm gone for the year. So what are your best tips and tricks for me on how to stay connected with them, but not be too overbearing, so that I can hopefully land that full-time contract once I'm done my degree next April?
What's your degree in, Katie, and what type of company was it?
Yeah, so I actually worked for one of the big 5 banks up here in Canada, so it's Scotiabank, and I'm studying sports business currently.
Great. Okay, so, and your internship is done, Katie?
Yes, I finished last Friday.
Okay. So one thing I might do is I would write a handwritten note to everyone you worked for, just thanking them for the internship, saying how much you loved it, talk a little bit, you be specific about stuff that you learned. And, say, I would love the opportunity to work here full time and to continue to contribute to Scotiabank. So I would make sure you write a handwritten note to everybody, as a thank you for the experience. The other thing you might want to do is to see if, I don't know how cumbersome your school load is or your workload is, but to see if the company has any remote internship or remote tasks that need to get done where you could still continue to intern or work for like 10 hours a week or 20 hours a week or some manageable amount of time, so that you stay connected to everyone there. You're still kind of working on their stuff, but you're also prioritizing and finishing school. So that might be something else that you continue, or that you see if it's possible. And then the last thing I would do is I would make sure that, closer to the end of this year, like December, January-ish, make sure that you send another follow-up email, and maybe also in writing, that's like, hey, I'm graduating in 3 months, or I'm graduating in 4 months. I'm starting to initiate my job search. You're my number one choice if jobs are available. Obviously, make sure you go look at the job boards and all that kind of stuff. But I would just make sure that you are as proactive as possible in your communication and outreach. And then also see if there's any possibility or areas where the company needs help that you would be able to contribute to while you're at school.
Awesome. That's such great pieces of advice, and I'll definitely get started on those thank you notes. Thanks so much, Erika.
Okay, cool. Bye, Katie. Thank you. Let's go. I'm never going to have a better call than this. Hello.
Oh my gosh, I got
big. You cannot be a pushover. Nobody is going to respect you. We got to get going on that. Be comfortable when you're 6, that's creep. You're also stunting your life. I don't know if that was helpful.